The photo appeared on Instagram at 11:47 p.m. on a Thursday. I was in bed, scrolling mindlessly before sleep, when Chloe's face filled my screen. My twin sister, wearing my engagement ring, the vintage Art Deco sapphire that had belonged to David's grandmother, with her lips pressed against my fiancé's cheek. To win, sorry not sorry. When you know. Hashtag true love, hashtag mean Toby, hashtag better choice. My first thought wasn't pain or rage or heartbreak. It was absurdly practical. That's my good highlighter she's wearing. I sat up in bed, staring at the photo, David's hand on her waist, the ring catching the light, her triumphant smile, the comments already rolling in from mutual friends, shocked emojis, and what? And OMG, is this real? 2 weeks. Our wedding was in 2 weeks. The invitations had been sent, the flowers ordered, the cake tasted and chosen. My dress hung in the closet, altered to perfection. 200 guests were planning to watch me marry the man I'd been with for 6 years. Now he was Instagram official with my twin sister. I scrolled through her stories. They'd been documenting their night. Dinner at Chef Laurent, the restaurant where David had proposed to me. Champagne toasts. Her showing off the ring to their waiter, his hands all over her in the Uber. My phone buzzed. Messages flooding in. Laurent, is this real? OMG, honey, are you okay? I'm coming over right now. That bitch. I turned off my phone. In the darkness of my apartment, I sat very still and did something unexpected. I laughed, not hysterically, not bitterly, just a small, quiet laugh at the absurd perfection of it all. Because of course it was Chloe, of course it was. Ever since we were children, Chloe had wanted everything I had. My dolls, my friends, my clothes, my achievements. But she didn't just want them, she wanted them to be better when she had them. She wanted people to see that they belonged with her all along. The pattern was so established it had its own rhythm. I get something. Chloe would want it. Chloe would take it. Everyone would agree it looked better on her anyway. My junior prom date, who suddenly decided Chloe was more fun. My spot on the varsity tennis team that went to her after she convinced the coach I was too focused on academics. My college acceptance to Brown that she somehow parlayed into a full scholarship while I got waitlisted. But David? I thought David was different. I thought 6 years meant something. I thought the ring, the venue, the life we planned meant something. Apparently, I was wrong. I got up and made myself tea. Earl Grey, no sugar. Then I sat at my kitchen table and did what I did best. I planned. First, I turned my phone back on and sent one text to my best friend. I'm fine. Don't come over. We'll explain tomorrow. Then I opened my laptop and pulled up the wedding contracts. All of them. Venue, catering, flowers, photographer, band. I'd been the one to handle everything, of course. David thought wedding planning was girl stuff, and Chloe, my maid of honor, had been too busy to help. The venue contract was ironclad, $50,000, non-refundable within 30 days of the event. The Fairmont Hotel's ballroom, reserved for the Lawrence Ashford wedding. David had insisted on the fanciest place in the city. Only the best for my bride, he'd said. I smiled at the memory, then I smiled at the contract. Because here's the thing David never bothered to learn in 6 years. I'm not the stupid twin. I'm the careful one. The one who reads contracts. The one who pays attention to details. The one who plans for contingencies. And the name on every single contract? Mine. Just mine. The wedding was in my name, paid for with my credit cards, my savings, my meticulous planning. David had promised to pay me back after. His money was tied up in investments. I believed him because I trusted him. Chloe had always called me too trusting. Lauren believes anything, she'd laugh. Tell her the sky is green and she'll start color coordinating her outfits. But there's a difference between trusting and stupid, and I was done being either. I picked up my phone and scrolled to a contact I'd saved months ago. Just in case. Margaret Chen, the Fairmont's event coordinator. Margaret, it's Lauren Ashford. I know it's late, but I have a question about the Lawrence Ashford wedding on the 23rd. Is the deposit still non-refundable? Ms. Ashford. Yes, absolutely non-refundable. As we discussed, within the 30-day window, the full amount is retained regardless of cancellation. Perfect. I'm not canceling. But there will be some changes. Of course. What kind of changes? Well, for starters, it's not going to be a wedding. The next morning, I woke to 47 missed calls. I ignored them all and went to work. Corporate law waits for no personal drama, and I had a deposition to prepare for. Lauren, my assistant Priya, looked stricken. I saw closed post. Are you? Fine. Can you push the Hartman meeting to 3? I need to make some calls at lunch. She nodded, clearly wanting to say more but respecting my boundaries. That's why I loved Priya. At noon, I locked my office door and began making calls. Party Plus Rentals, this is Lauren Ashford. I need to make some changes to my order for the 23rd. Waterford Catering, yes, about the Lawrence Ashford event. We'll be switching from a plated dinner to heavy appetizers, same headcount. DG Martinez, slight change in music selection. Instead of a wedding playlist, I need your best club mix. By 2 p.m., I transformed my wedding into something else entirely. The bones would stay the same, the venue, the flowers, the time. But the rest? That was evolving. My phone rang. David. I let it ring. A text followed. Lauren, we need to talk. This isn't what it looks like. Then another. Please don't do anything crazy with the wedding stuff. And another. Chloe says you're not answering her. This is childish. Childish. The man who was sleeping with my twin sister 2 weeks before our wedding thought I was being childish. I texted back once. The wedding contracts are in my name. Do what you want. Then I blocked his number. That evening, Chloe showed up at my apartment. I watched her through the doorbell camera, standing there in my favorite jacket. When had she taken that? Holding a bottle of wine like a peace offering. Lauren, I know you're in there. We need to talk. Sister to sister. I stayed silent. Look, I'm sorry about how you found out, but you can't ignore this forever. We have to figure out what to do about the wedding. We, as if she was part of the planning now. Lauren, open the door. You're being ridiculous. It's not like you and David were happy anyway. You were always complaining about him. I had never complained about David. Not to her. Not to anyone. I thought we were happy. She left after 20 minutes, but not before sliding a note under my door. You always were a sore loser. Call me when you're ready to be an adult about this. See. I threw the note in the trash and went back to my planning. The next few days passed in a blur of controlled chaos. I went to work, performed brilliantly in the Hartman deposition, and fielded increasingly frantic calls from wedding vendors who'd been contacted by David. Miss Ashford, a Mr. Lawrence called about canceling the flowers. He's not authorized to make changes. Proceed as planned. Lauren, this is Jim from the band. Some guy named David is saying the wedding is off. The event is still on. See you on the 23rd. Each vendor confirmed what I already knew, only I could make changes. Only I could cancel. And I wasn't canceling anything. Meanwhile, Chloe's Instagram became a masterclass in rewriting history. Photos of her and David appeared with captions about finding love in unexpected places and when someone sees the real you. She posted throwback photos from family events, circling herself and David in the background, adding arrows and hearts like they'd been destined all along. The real kicker was a photo from my birthday party last year. David with his arm around me, Chloe on his other side. She'd cropped me out and written, "Even then, we knew." My friends were livid. My mom was disappointed but not surprised. My dad asked if I needed him to handle David, but I told them all the same thing. I'm fine, just wait. On the morning of the 23rd, I woke up refreshed. No tears on my pillow, no ache in my chest. Just calm determination and a little spark of anticipation. I put on the white jumpsuit I bought to replace my wedding dress. Sleek, expensive, absolutely gorgeous. I did my makeup perfectly. I slipped on my grandmother's pearls, the ones I'd planned to wear as my something old. Then I drove to the Fairmont. The ballroom looked spectacular. White roses and peonies everywhere. Twinkling lights. Tables set with crystal and gold. It was every bit the fairy tale wedding I dreamed of, minus the wedding part. Margaret met me at the entrance, clipboard in hand. Ms. Ashford. Everything is ready as requested. The adjusted arrangements are all in place. Perfect. And the programs? Printed this morning as specified. I picked one up from the welcome table. Where it once said, "The wedding of David Lawrence and Lauren Ashford," it now read, "Lauren Ashford presents a celebration of dodge bullets, an evening of new beginnings, open bar, no speeches, dancing required." By 6 p.m., guests were arriving in droves. Confused but intrigued, dressed in their wedding finest, clutching the programs and whispering, "Is this real? Did she really? Oh my God, this is iconic." I stood at the entrance, greeting everyone with a smile. Yes, this was real. Yes, I turned my canceled wedding into a party. Yes, the open bar was already flowing. Lauren, my college roommate, rushed over. "This is the most baddest thing I've ever seen. But are you okay?" "I'm great. Grab a drink. The signature cocktail is called Better Off Without Him." By 7 p.m., the party was in full swing. The DJ was playing dance hits instead of wedding songs. People were taking shots at the bar instead of toasting the happy couple. The photographer I'd hired was capturing genuine laughter instead of staged romance. That's when they arrived. David and Chloe standing in the doorway like deer in headlights. He was in the tux we'd picked out together. She was in a white dress, not quite a wedding dress, but close enough to make her intentions clear. The music didn't stop, but conversations stuttered. All eyes turned to them, then to me. I walked over, champagne flute in hand, smile perfect. "David." "Chloe, so glad you could make it." "What the hell is this?" David's face was red. "You turned our wedding into a party?" "Yes. Since you decided you didn't want to marry me, I decided I didn't want to waste a perfectly good venue, or flowers, or catering. All non-refundable, by the way." "This is insane." Chloe stepped forward, her hand possessively on David's arm. "My ring, my grandmother's ring, catching the light. You can't just." "Can't just what?" "Use the contracts in my name for an event I'm paying for?" "Actually, I can." "People are laughing at us." "No," I corrected. "People are celebrating with me. There's a difference." David grabbed my arm. "Lauren, stop this. We can talk about this like adults. Like the adults who started an affair 2 weeks before their wedding. Those kinds of adults. It wasn't an affair. We fell in love. You can't help who you love." "You're right," I said, removing his hand from my arm. "You can't help who you love, but you can help who you lie to, who you betray, who you humiliate on Instagram." That was Chloe's idea. "Hey," Chloe protested. "Oh, now you're throwing her under the bus. How romantic." The crowd was watching openly now. Some had their phones out. "Good, let them record this." "You want to know the best part?" I asked, loud enough for everyone to hear. "The absolute best part, all those contracts you were so worried about. They're all in my name. The venue, the catering, the honeymoon package to Bali. Everything." David's face went white. "The honeymoon. Oh, did Chloe not mention? I canceled your tickets yesterday. Got a full refund since I'm the one who bought them. But don't worry, I'm still going. Becca's coming with me instead." I waved at my best friend, who raised her martini in salute. "You can't do this," Chloe shrieked. "This is supposed to be our day." "Your day? You wanted my fiancé, Chloe. You got him. But you don't get my party. You don't get my venue. You don't get my day." "I'll sue you. We'll sue you. This is breach of promise. Good luck proving that when you're the ones who broke the engagement. Intentional infliction of emotional distress. I have your Instagram posts, sweetheart. The ones calling me pathetic, boring, saying David was settling. My lawyer says I have a better case than you do." I stepped closer to my sister, lowering my voice so only she could hear. "You've taken everything from me our whole lives. My toys, my friends, my opportunities, and I let you because I thought keeping the peace was more important than keeping score. But you crossed a line. You didn't just take something from me, you tried to take my future, my happiness, my life." "Lauren, I'm not finished. You want David? Keep him. Enjoy wondering every day if he'll trade up again when someone better comes along. Enjoy planning your own wedding on your own dime. Enjoy explaining to everyone why you're wearing my engagement ring." I straightened up, addressing them both. "Now you have 2 choices. You can leave quietly and let me enjoy the party I paid for. Or you can stay and watch 200 people celebrate the fact that I'm no longer marrying a man who would sleep with my sister." David looked around the room at the hostile faces, the raised phones, the security guards Margaret had thoughtfully positioned by the door. "This isn't over," he muttered. "You're right," I agreed. "The bills aren't over. Did I mention I'm keeping all the wedding gifts? They're addressed to me." They left. slinking out like the cowards they were, Chloe's white dress a beacon of shame as they retreated. The room erupted in applause. To Lorraine, someone shouted, and suddenly everyone was toasting me, hugging me, telling me I was a legend, a queen, an inspiration. The rest of the night was a blur of joy. We danced until 2 a.m. We ate the spectacular cake that now read, "Congratulations on your freedom, Lauren." We toasted with champagne meant for a wedding but perfect for a liberation. As the evening wound down, my Aunt Patricia, the family truth teller, pulled me aside. "You know what the funniest part is?" she said, slightly drunk on champagne and vindication. "What?" "That ring. Your grandmother's ring. It's not real." I stared at her. "What?" "Your grandmother sold the real one during the Depression. Had a replica made. She told me before she died, made me promise to tell you if you ever got engaged. Said the real ring should go to someone who deserved it. You. The fake could go to whoever was fake enough to wear it." She pressed a small velvet box into my hand. Inside was a stunning Art Deco sapphire ring, identical to the one on Chloe's finger, but somehow warmer, more brilliant. She knew. Patricia winked. "Grandma always knew which twin was which, even when you were babies. Said you had the better heart." I slipped the real ring onto my right hand, a gift from a grandmother who saw me clearly, even when I couldn't see myself. The party ended with me surrounded by real friends, real family, real love. Not the romantic kind, something better. The kind that shows up when your world falls apart. The kind that celebrates your strength instead of exploiting your weaknesses. Monday morning, I walked into work with my head high. The story had already spread. Chloe had made sure of that with her victim playing Instagram stories. But the narrative wasn't what she hoped. I was the woman who turned heartbreak into a party, who'd refused to be a victim, who'd made lemonade out of the sourest lemons life could offer. My boss called me into her office. "Heard you had an interesting weekend," she said dryly. "You could say that. But for you, that took guts. Now, about the Stevenson merger." Life went on. Work went on. I went on. 2 weeks later, while Becca and I were sipping Mai Tais on a beach in Bali, the honeymoon was even better with a best friend, I got a text from a number I didn't recognize. It was a photo from my cousin, Chloe and David at City Hall getting married in a rushed ceremony. She was wearing a cheap white dress. He looked miserable. The caption, "True love won't wait." I showed Becca, who nearly choked on her drink laughing. "She really thought she won," Becca said. "She did win," I replied, raising my glass to the sunset. "She won a man who cheats on his fiancé with her sister. A ring that's as fake as their relationship. A future of always wondering if she's really the better twin or just the available one. And you?" I looked at the ocean, vast and full of possibility. My grandmother's real ring caught the light, a reminder that sometimes the best things come to those who wait, who endure, who know their own worth. "I won too," I said. "I won my freedom, my self-respect, and the knowledge that I'm nobody's second choice. Not anymore." We clinked glasses as the sun set over the water. Somewhere back home, my twin sister was learning what I'd always known. You can take someone's fiancé, but you can't take their dignity. You can steal their wedding, but you can't steal their strength. And you can wear their ring, but you can't wear their life. The fake always reveals itself in the end. Just like fake rings, just like fake love, just like fake sisters who mistake cruelty for cleverness. I'd lost a fiancé and a sister, but I found something better. Myself. And that was worth more than all the wedding deposits in the world.